Hello guys and welcome back. So in the previous video we have created a window for the Waypoint editor tools. Now in this video we will add a button to our Waypoint editor tools window, okay, and that button will simply create waypoints. So for that, first of all, right here we will say public transform. Let's name this as Waypoint origin. This waypoint origin will be the reference that will be used as a parent for the waypoints. Then after this we will create our own GUI method, and in here we will say serialized object. Let's name this as obj. This will be equals to new serialized object. Then we will say this, and let me tell you that this serialized object will be for our window so that we can easily draw its properties. So now once we have this, now let's go ahead and create a property for our waypoint origin. So for that we will say editor GUI layout dot property field. Then we will say obj dot find property, and right here we will pass the waypoint origin. So once the property for our waypoint origin is created, now we will check that if this waypoint origin is not assigned, then in our waypoint editor tools window we will print a message in which we will say that please assign a waypoint origin transform, okay, and then in the else block we will say that if the waypoint origin is assigned, okay, then we will show the button by which we will be able to create waypoints. Okay, so first of all, right here we will say if the waypoint origin is null, then what we will do, we will say editor GUI dot layout dot help box, and right here in this help box we will say please assign a waypoint origin transform. And as you know that this will be a warning message, so in the help box the second property is the message type. So as I told you, it will be a warning, so we will say message type dot warning. Okay, then in the else block, if the waypoint origin is assigned, then what we will do, as I told you, we will show the button to create waypoints. So if I show you the waypoint editor tool, as you can see now it is showing this warning, okay, please assign a waypoint origin transform, which is this help box which we type right here. Okay, so it is showing the warning right there. Okay, and as you can see that every data inside this waypoint editor tools will be in the vertical direction. Okay, so now we want to add a button for creating the waypoints in the vertical direction as well. So right here in the else block we will say editor GUI layout dot begin vertical. So now right here we will call a method by the name of create buttons, okay, and inside this create buttons we will create all of the buttons for creating waypoints. Okay, so when we call that method, then we will say editor GUI layout dot end vertical. That is it. Okay, we will create this method as well, so let me copy its name, and then after this on GUI method we will say void create buttons, and in here we will create the buttons. But first of all, as you know that right here we create a property for our waypoint origin, and then to that waypoint origin we check that if the waypoint origin is null, then we will show warning, but if it is not, then we will create the buttons. So as you can see, it is changing the data in the if else condition. So since the data is changing, then after this if else condition we will make sure to apply the modified property. Okay, so for that we will simply say obj dot apply modified properties, and that will be it. Okay, now moving down to the create buttons method right here, let's create a button. So inside the if condition we will say if GUI layout dot button, let's name this button as create waypoint. So now whenever this button is clicked, we will create a waypoint. So for that, right here, let me pass a method by the name of create waypoint. Okay, and let's copy this name, and right down below we will say void create waypoint, and now in here we will create the waypoints. But if we save this, let me first of all show you that now if you click on waypoint editor tool, as you can see, it is first of all showing the warning that to assign a waypoint origin. For now we didn't create any waypoint origin game object. Okay, for now let me just assign this player, for example, right here, and as you know, when we assign the player, it shows this button which is create waypoint. Now whenever we click this create waypoint button, we will create some waypoint in the environment, and that waypoint will be shown right here as well. So in here we will say game object, we will create a game object, and let's name this as waypoint object. This will be equals to new game object. In the hierarchy we will name this as waypoint, and it will be followed by the waypoint origin dot child count, and its type will be the waypoint. Then after this, let's set the waypoint origin as the parent of these game objects which we will be creating. Okay, so for that we will say waypoint object dot transform dot set parent. Let's set the waypoint origin as the parent. Okay, let me save the script right here to this point, and now if we get back to Unity right here, let's click on waypoint editor tool. Okay, now let's create a waypoint origin right here in the environment. Okay, so if I right click in the hierarchy, click on create empty, let's name this as waypoint or traffic AI waypoints. Okay, since this waypoints will be for the traffic AI, let me move this to the ground. Okay, here it is. Let's move it right there. Okay, now what we will do is click on this waypoint editor tool right here. Let's assign this traffic AI waypoint. Okay, this will be now the origin. So now if we click on this create waypoint, as you can see, it is created a waypoint. Now if we expand that, as you can see, it is by the name of waypoint 0. Since right here in the code we are creating waypoints, okay, so we name that waypoint as waypoint, and then that is followed by the child count of the waypoint origin, and then we set the waypoint origin as the parent. So as you can see, the waypoint is set as the parent, and the names are followed by the waypoint origin child count. Okay, so now if we click on create waypoint again, it is now waypoint 1. Now if we create another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and if we click on it, as you can see right here in the code, we set this as a type of waypoint, and as you know that this waypoint is the script right here. Okay, so whatever is inside the script is now right here the previous waypoint, next waypoint, and the waypoint width. Okay, we will be moving these waypoints like this one by one, but for now, as you can see, these waypoints are not connected. As you can see, the previous waypoint and next waypoint, for all of them is empty. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is assign the previous waypoint and the next waypoint to each of this waypoint which we will be creating.